And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, December 7th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down a two-game NBA slate. And honestly, the NBA has really given us the business on this one. 5 p.m. start for Pacers Bucks, 9 p.m. start for Pelicans Lakers. Reduced size contest. It's annoying. It's annoying. I wanted the big guns for today, and we got the tiny guns. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. What's up, everybody? Terrible slate for me yesterday. I got my clock cleaned up and down the line. I think I uploaded the wrong file for the late slate or the night slate because my lineups were just ass, and in my review they weren't great. So yeah, this stinks, man. 5 p.m. start. No deeper dive today. We're just doing a live before lock. It's just not. It's not fun. Do I want to watch the games? Yeah, of course. But this didn't need to happen like this. What are we doing here? Just do 7 and 10. Fuck the NFL. I don't get it. Or just don't plan it for a Thursday. There's also that. How hard could that have been? Seymour, congratulations. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A little salty. Yesterday didn't go well. I got smacked on Prize Picks. I got smacked in DFS. And what's really funny is I never left the computer yesterday. I was all over it all day, dialed in, felt good, and then it was just straight beatings. I didn't have any Joel Embiid. And then all of a sudden, Luka Doncic had a 30, 10, and 10 triple-double in the first half. I was like, oh, cool. He's going to score 100 fantasy points, and it's not going to matter. And then it didn't matter at all because they kicked the shit out of them. He had 65 at the half and finished with 75. Not fun. Desmond Bane truly broke the slate. He went for 49 real points, plus another 3 stocks. SGA had 7 stocks last night. Just none of it went well. OG Anunoby finally smashed 47 fantasy points. Obviously, I didn't have him the way that I had him earlier. It was a wild day. Usually when we have those massive scoring days, I'm not going to be there. But, yeah. I needed Desmond Bane. It's shocking that he beat the shit out of the Pistons. Who could have seen that one coming? I lock button Boyan yesterday. He went for 44. That was a no-brainer to me. It didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. Yeah, Caleb Martin, 24 and 10, 49 fantasy points. Yuck. Just yuck across the board for me. Didn't enjoy it at all. But now we're here for a 2-game slate. It's really unfun. Really unfun stuff. Chris, the Pistons give up a lot to everybody. Don't just worry about point guards. Yeah, you did need 500 points to win yesterday. I mean, you could conceive of, just the top 2 guys alone were going to be 150, whether you went to Luka and Bane or Embiid and Bane. Crispy, what's up? Well, I got to charge my watch, so let me find my watch charger. Got it. So let's get that started. Boom. Yeah, boom. And let's drink some coffee. Let's drink some coffee. So, thank you guys for being here. Grab your coffees if you have them. Whatever drink you've got will work. I never really thought about this, so I'm going to ask now. I know we're not going to have a huge crowd. People don't show up for these Tuesday or these off day 2-gamers. Does anybody else cheers me? Just curious. Coffee, tea, water, beer, whatever you got. If you got a joint, even better. Cheers, everybody. Rise and grind. We got this. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. And honestly, I don't have a promo or anything for you guys, but highly recommend either signing up at Stochastic or OddsShopper, depending on what you're looking for. On the Stochastic side, grab yourself the Sims tool if you've got the money. lineup generator, which I think you will enjoy tremendously if you're more of a 1 or 2 lineup a night guy. Odd shopper side, if you're in the sports betting space, it's the best product that you can get. Take a market-based approach to beating the books or beating the pick'em sites if you need to. All right, let's get into this bad boy. That way we can get out of this bad boy. First game up on the docket for today. The Indiana Pacers are 4.5-point dogs. I don't want to say in Milwaukee, but in Las Vegas. 254 total. The total here is 25 points more than the Pelicans-Lakers game. This is going to be ridiculous. And it's not surprising. You know, the Pacers have a terrible defense. The Bucks defense isn't very good. Should be fun. Should be fun. So we got to think about minutes here. I'm pulling up the injury report right now. So that's going to be 6 a.m. Got it. Jalen Smith is out. Basically, for each team, the injury report is exactly what we would expect it to be. No Jalen Smith, no Jay Crowder, no Pat Connaughton, no Larry Nance, no Matt Ryan, AD probable, Rui available, LeBron questionable, Vanderbilt probable. So the good news is we don't have to move anything around too crazy in that regard. Let's start with Indiana. Now, my expectation is that we are getting a very tight rotation. So, Halliburton played 40 minutes in the quarterfinal game. He's been playing 36. He's played 40 in his last 2. I am going 39 on Tyrese Halliburton. Chris, don't worry. You're going to get one. Miles Turner played 34 minutes. I think going 33 is the most reasonable scenario. Obi Toppin started. What did that rotation look like against Boston? Didn't close at all. Obi Toppin didn't see the floor in the fourth quarter. They went to now, Nesmith was obviously playing well, but they went to a full Bruce Brown, Miles Turner, Halliburton, Nesmith. All of those guys were on the floor for the entire fourth quarter. I think that should explain a lot. Bruce Brown, Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, Nesmith played the entire fourth quarter against the Boston Celtics. That should be a sign of what they want their closing lineup to be in an optimal scenario. So, with that said, we got 32 minutes out of Aaron Nesmith last game. I'm going to go to 27 to start. I also think we see Toppin was the backup center. They completely removed Isaiah Jackson. Now, this is the type of matchup where you play Isaiah Jackson a rotation. Because I don't think if you go to Obi Toppin at the 5 as the exclusive backup to Miles Turner, you can only do that if Giannis isn't on the floor. If Giannis is on the floor, I think he gets to the rim undeterred if Miles Turner isn't there. So we got 26 minutes out of Obi Toppin. That feels about right. He's going to start. He's going to take the off rotation to Miles Turner in the first quarter and the third quarter. He's going to close likely the second quarter and then doesn't really have to play much in the fourth. I'm going to go 26 to Toppin. I want to hide 5 minutes on Isaiah Jackson, but we'll see if I can do that. In theory, I have exactly what I want here to give him some playing time, but we'll cross that bridge in a second. Buddy Hield played 32 minutes. Pretty standard rotation, although he did play the entire third quarter. Hield plays like 27 minutes a night. I feel like something like 31 feels like the most likely scenario. And then Bruce Brown, I don't feel like we need to mess around at all. He's been playing 35 or 36 minutes a night. He played the entire fourth quarter to play 36. I think you got to go 36, if not more. And I think that could easily be 37. But I want to see where we line up first. Now, TJ McConnell was the first guy off the bench. Do I think that needs to happen here? I don't. But this is also another spot where I would have expected Andrew Nembhard, and I don't know if we could do that. The next guy that needs to be up in terms of projecting minutes has to be Benedict Mathurin. He played 27 minutes against Boston. That's a giant chunk of time. He kind of plays with everybody. It doesn't really matter who else is out there. It doesn't feel like he needs that big of a rotation, but he already plays 26 minutes a night, so I'm going to go to 26 minutes. So what that leaves us is 22 minutes to allocate to TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, and potentially Isaiah Jackson. Now, Nembhard and McConnell played a grand total of 14 minutes against the Celtics. I don't think that sounds too crazy. Nembhard only played in the second quarter, didn't get back out there, was -7. Not entirely sure they just gut him fully, but they can. So I am going to give Isaiah Jackson 5 minutes. I feel good about that. Toppin played without Miles. Toppin played at the 5 for 3 minutes. That's 7 minutes. And another. So like 14 minutes. I think you could lose a little bit of that playing time and get at least a rotation out of Isaiah Jackson just because of the size of Milwaukee. That leaves me 17 minutes, which I'm going to split with 9 to TJ McConnell and 8 to Andrew Nembhard. I think that makes the most sense to me. So we're going to go something like that. Now I'm going to project Milwaukee's minutes, and then I'm going to go back and take a look at props. So on the Milwaukee side, this is going to be another one that should be pretty easy to deal with. I'm going to gut this rotation again just to make life a little bit easier for what we need to do today. We'll pull up that rotation from the Knicks beating. And right out of the gate, we're going to start with Brook Lopez. Lopez played 33 and a half minutes. He's been playing about 33 minutes a night as of late. He's not really the type of guy that's going to get a weird rotation. However, the key thing we want to remember here for Lopez, they didn't close. They had the final 2.5 minutes of blowout run with scrubs, which means you were also looking at Brook Lopez playing 36 minutes. It just didn't get there. Assuming this game is competitive, I think it gets there. I'm going to go 34 to Brook Lopez. I think you could go to 35 or 36, and that could be a reasonable thing to do. Giannis played 34. Again, he would have gotten another 2+ minutes. So 36 seems real. He didn't close the second quarter, probably because of the 3 fouls. So we can ignore that. The question becomes, was he going to? Because if he was going to close the second quarter, then Giannis was going to play 40 minutes. I'm going to go to 38 on Giannis. And then Dame played 34. Now, his was pretty standard. Did have 4 fouls. Doesn't matter at all usually for a guard. Maybe they waited a little bit there. Or I guess it was just okay. They were on a. Okay, here's what happened there. They didn't immediately check Dame in the fourth quarter. Team went on a 13-2 run, and I think they just didn't make that sub in the run. So Dame also would have played 36 minutes. There's no way to project Dame and Giannis differently at a minimum, so I'm going 38 to Dame. We got 33 minutes out of Malik Beasley. Same situation, didn't close. Should have been 35 or 36. So I'm going to go 35 to Beasley. And then we got Middleton playing 26 and a half minutes. He didn't close the second quarter, which I think is I think they were kind of kicking him down the line a little bit to be able to play more in the second half, because Middleton played 11 minutes in the first half and like 15 and change without that blowout run in the end of it all. He was going to play 30 minutes. 26 and a half. They would have been willing to play him the entire fourth quarter. That's 2.5 more minutes. I think you have to go to 28 or 29 on Middleton. I'll go 28 for right now. So, looking good so far. 67 minutes left. Next guy up is going to be Bobby Portis. At the very least, you're getting the 14-minute backup run. Portis played 24 minutes, and I don't think we can go too much more than that. So we're going to lock him in for 24. We got Cam Payne being the last guy off the bench, which is interesting. We did get 19 minutes of Marchand Beauchamp. He closed the second quarter in Middleton's spot, which I think is interesting if you think it happens again. What's really interesting that I actually think that I want to go back and deal with is that they don't have to close the second quarter with Bobby Portis. Now, that was a 4-minute rotation. I'm actually going to take 2 minutes away from Bobby Portis and take him to 22. Now, 1 minute. We're going to take him to 23. Because he could have had a slightly longer fourth quarter stretch if he needed to. They didn't have to bring Brook Lopez back as quick as they did. But they went on a 7-0 run right out of the gate, and they shut that shit down immediately. So for Beauchamp, assuming he can close for Middleton again, I think 18 minutes makes the most sense. Now that leaves me 26 for Cam Payne and AJ Green. Payne is going to get the backup point guard minutes at a minimum. Did they play Lillard and Payne alongside each other at all? No. Cam Payne was Dame's direct backup, which means I'm not giving him any minutes alongside Dame. How many minutes have they played alongside of each other this year? Another reminder here. The intricacies of these teams are never more important than they are on a 2-game slate. We don't want to miss anything. We need to be right to the minute as best as we can, because every minute matters. Dame and Cam Payne on the floor together this season has happened for, okay, that's more than I expected. 65 minutes. They are -7 in that time. I will give him 2 minutes. AJ Green played 12 and a half. So I'll give him those 11. That leaves me 3 that I assume I'm going to just throw on to no one. So I'm going to hide those 3 on Thanasis just to hide the minutes. So that's game 1. Now we need to look and see what the prop market looks like for these games. I want to see how close I was on my first run. Points props for Milwaukee. Giannis is 33.5, slight juice to the under. I have 35. I don't really hate that right now, though. Brook Lopez is at 12.5 to the over. I got 14.7. I'm okay with that. I think these numbers are going to move. Dame is at 27.5. I've got 31.5. I feel like the overs here are Like bets I would want to make right now. What do they look like on OddsShopper? I feel like this game, like these points props for these guys aren't taking into account that the total is 254 and that these guys are going to play more minutes. All right, if I just look at OddsShopper right now, NBA. Let's just look at points prop. For today. Nothing. On the wrong. That'll help. Anything from Pick'em? Is there just not NBA stuff up yet? Nope. Apparently not. Does Prize Picks not have anything up? Because I might want to grab these Prize Picks plays immediately. Immediately. Yeah, points prop for Giannis isn't on Prize Picks right now. Dame's is at 27.5. I don't know how you could possibly project that right now. Like, think about it like this. The average score of a Bucks game is nowhere near 254 points. Just isn't. We know this. Damian Lillard on the season per 36 minutes is at 26.5 real points. I'm giving him 2 more minutes. Which would take him to 38. That would be like just around 28. And that's with just like a straight average here. The scoring output is dramatically higher. Like, what's the average score of a Bucks game? What is their average points per game this year? They are averaging as a team. Where is it? 122 points per game. I mean, even if you just double that, that's 244. There's another 10 points. I think Dame and Giannis are all getting a little underrepresented in the markets right now. Malik Beasley's fine. Chris Middleton, his points prop is 14.5. Like, if you think he's playing 28 minutes, it needs to be higher in this matchup. This is the worst defense in the league. I love Milwaukee today. I assume. How many boards for Giannis? 11.5 juice to the over. I have 13.5. There are so many possessions in this game. Now we go to the Indy side, which I assume is going to be just as extreme. I've got Halliburton at 29 points. The prop is 28.5, slight juice to the under. Miles Turner's at 17.5. I got 19. Obi Toppin's at 12.5. I am less than that. Bruce Brown's at 12.5. That looks fine. Buddy Hield, I have at 17.5. His is 14.5. Like, even if I just add those dudes up, you run out of bodies. Like, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got 7 guys with a points prop. The only guys that they don't have are Halliburton and Nembhard. If I just add up the points props for the Pacers, 28.5. We'll call it 28 because it's juice to the under. Turner's 17, juice to the under. Toppin's 12, juice to the under. Bruce Brown's 12, juice to the under. 14.5 for Hield, 13.5 for Mathurin, 11 for Nesmith. That's 108. 108. I got them projected for 125. That means there's 17 points left. And those 17 points don't go to Nesmith and they don't go to McConnell. Way less than that. I like the scoring of this. I'm going to have so much of this game. Just absolutely a ton. And I think you should. Let's look at it now. Yeah, like Tyrese Halliburton is 10,600. Love him. Love him today. 1.49 fantasy points per minute. He's at 1.63 over the past 30 days. I don't think that that's a stretch to go to 1.5 here. This is the number 17 ranked defense, and Milwaukee is 5th in pace. Pacers are 1 in pace. That's why they're the Pacers. But like Mathurin, 4,700. Great flexibility, shooting guard, small forward. Bruce Brown, guard forward, 5,800. Buddy Hield, guard forward, 6,200. Better per minute guy, so looks great. I don't like Toppin all that much. I don't like Neesmith all that much, but you still play those guys. And a reminder, that's with me giving 5 minutes to Isaiah Jackson. On the Milwaukee side, I mean, Giannis looks incredible. Incredible. 11K power forward center. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a 1.73 fantasy point per minute guy over the last 30 days. That's exactly where I have him today in 38 minutes. It's a no-brainer. It makes Tyrese Halliburton look like a bad play. Dame, 9K. Amazing. Chris Middleton, 5,900. Shooting guard, small forward. Amazing. Brook Lopez, 6,100. Fantasy point per minute guy playing 34 minutes. Looks amazing. Portis is fine. Malik Beasley is fine. Marshawn Beauchamp, 3,800. Not the same value as before. This game looks phenomenal. Absolutely, positively phenomenal. And then we go to Pelicans-Lakers. Hit that like button if you haven't. Yeah, John P. I wouldn't throw the word guaranteed out with guys that can get full DNPs. I think he gets a rotation too, but Indiana might just look at this like we're going full on 5 out and we're not going to care about it. You throw doubles at Giannis and you go about your business. All right, Pels. Again, same scenario. We got to project this one like they're going to play it like a playoff game. In that game, we got 40 minutes out of Brandon Ingram. By all accounts, that's going to happen again. I am going to go to 39. CJ McCollum played 36 minutes. I see no reason that he's not doing the exact same thing. So there's 36. Herb Jones has been playing like 32 or 33 a night. He played 35. I don't see anything in the rotation where like you would be easily picking up minutes. I'm going to go to 34. Zion was able to play 28. Any foul trouble there? 3 fouls. Just really tiny rotations. And then didn't really close the way that you would expect. So we kind of have to project Zion for like his normal, awesome, like best minutes you could hope for day. So I'm going to go 34 to Giannis. And then we got Joval for about 30. And I think that's really all you could hope for there. So I'm going to go 29. First guy off the bench was Najee Marshall. They went Marshall, Alvarado, Trey Murphy, barely Cody Zeller, barely Dyson Daniels. I am going to get that like 6 minutes on to Cody Zeller for sure. Who played center then when Joval was off the floor? Zeller for a little bit, and then they kind of go to Zion. And then Zeller for a little bit. And then they kind of go to Zion. Okay. So we've got those minutes in. Trey Murphy played 30 minutes off the bench, extended run. I also fully expect that to be close to what they want. I'm going to go to 28. Like I said, Najee Marshall, first guy off the bench, closed the first quarter, closed the third quarter. That was basically it. And I think that kind of has to be it. That leaves me 20 minutes for Dyson Daniels and Jose Alvarado. Now, Alvarado played 18 minutes. Probably doesn't need that final rotation where CJ was gone, and that could actually be anybody in that scenario. So I'm going to go 16 and a very tiny 4-minute stint for Dyson Daniels. That's going to be our Pels. Then we go to the Lakers. This one, again, probably going to be pretty complicated to do because they got a lot of dudes that are going to look the same. Let's look at that Lakers game. They beat Phoenix by 3. This should be a very representative rotation. Anthony Davis played 39 minutes. There's no way I'm projecting it for anything like dramatically less. I'm going to go 38. I think he's live for 40. I'm also going 38 to LeBron James. He went 40, but no different than Giannis, no different than Dame. I don't think I can project those guys any different. Maybe I end up at 40 by the end of the day, but for right now, 38s across the board makes the most sense to me. We get D'Angelo Russell, who played the rotation we all expected. They didn't close with him. They closed with Austin Reeves. I think you have to go 28 to D'Angelo Russell. Cam Reddish ended up playing 30 minutes. Weird rotations did close. Doesn't have to close. I think 28 for Reddish makes some sense. We got Reeves in for 27. That was with about the biggest rotation he could have. So I'm going to go 26 to Reeves. And then we just got to fill out the rest of this. So AD played the entire first quarter. So they used Jared Vanderbilt wasn't really the backup. They went to Jackson Hayes. Hayes only played the minutes that AD didn't play, and he was the straight backup center. Which means I am going 10 minutes to Jackson Hayes. Jared Vanderbilt was the backup to Taurean Prince in the first quarter. And the entire third quarter. And then he was able to play alongside AD and LeBron. Prince played 27 minutes, and that feels about right. I'm going to leave him in for 28. Rui played 21. Max Christie played 8. So Rui playing 21, that's just pretty standard rotation. I don't think Rui is in a position to close, but in theory, he could close over Cam Reddish or Taurean Prince. I think, 21 minutes or 20 minutes out of Rui makes the most sense. And I think that those Vanderbilt rotations make some sense. Somewhere around 14 minutes. And that would leave me 10 for Christie. So let's go 16 to Vandy and 8 to Max Christie. And I think that's where we end up. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to have to be. Wow, Taurean Prince plays the 2 for this team in this layout, which is wild to think about. All right, I'm going to look at the points props here. I'm more excited now after going through the rotations, but that'll go away. All right. AD points prop is 27.5. I have 25.5. Am I oddly low on his minutes prop? So I also have him at 12.5 boards, which I think is going to be on the number. 12.5 juice to the over. I'm going 39 minutes to Anthony Davis, and I'm taking a minute off of Jared Vanderbilt. I guess technically I'm taking it off of Jackson Hayes. That gets him up to 26-2. I mean, there's no chance AD is going to look better than Giannis here. I've got LeBron in for 28-1. The line is 28.5. D'Angelo Russell's 14. If we take the juice, I got him at 14.9, so I'm already high there. Prince is 7.5. Fine. Reddish is about 8. Fine. Assists for LeBron are at about 7. Little light there. Assists for Russell are about 6. Definitely light there. But I'm not entirely sure where I can find those assists. Let's take a look. Yeah, I can't go higher in minutes than 28, though. Might just end up being a little bit lighter on Russell. I could handle that. All right, let's look at the Pelicans points props quickly, and then we'll get an idea of where we stand for this entire slate. We'll run some crunches, and we'll get the hell out of here. Pels, Zion, 22.5 to the over. I got 24-7. That's fine. Ingram, 23.5. I got 24-7. Good. 18 to CJ. Good. 13.5 to Joval. Good. 11.5 to Herb Jones. Good. All right, we got what we need here, folks. So, on the Pelicans side, they don't look, and this should be no surprise. Remember, 25 additional real points is more than 25 fantasy points because you have to factor in that some of those can be threes and then there's bonuses. So 25 points is probably like 28 additional fantasy points. But that's also additional possessions. It's additional rebounds. It's additional assists. It's potential steals and blocks. We're talking about like 40 additional fantasy points allocated to Pacers Bucks that aren't allocated to Pelicans Lakers. That matters. So you get someone like 8K Brandon Ingram who looks good, but Zion isn't even 5X, and we've got Giannis projected for like 6X at a 11K salary or whatever it is. Herb Jones will be okay for value. Jovel will be fine at center. Trey Murphy for 4,900 would be fine, but is he? Is he? I don't know. It's kind of gross. Chubbs, I don't know if that was necessarily advice, but sure. On the Lakers side, AD looks great. $9,600 power forward center. I have no problem there, but he's a 1.4 fantasy point per minute guy because we don't have the same pace changes. LeBron for 9,800 looks great, but I think we're going to be trying to get to Halliburton. Well, maybe not Halliburton. We're going to be trying to get to Giannis and Dame first. I think. Like, if Dame's going to be projected in the same way as AD and LeBron at a cheaper price tag in a better spot, like, I've got LeBron at 53.5. I've got Dame at 53 too. Like, Russell's okay at 6,300. Reeves is overpriced. Rui and Prince and Vanderbilt. Like, Vanderbilt's going to give you flexibility at 3,800, but what do we do with that? These crunches are going to be interesting to see. I assume we're getting like a giant onslaught of the first game. But let's find out. All right, so we got that up. Let's grab projections. And let's see where we stand. All right. 271.4. Exactly what we were expecting here. Although I'm probably going to like the second lineup more than the first one, and we could talk about why. 271.4 is the optimal by 0.8. Bruce Brown, Chris Middleton, Benedict Mathurin, Aaron Nesmith, Brooke Lopez, Trey Murphy, Giannis, Miles Turner. Or you can make a very small tweak and get an extra person. Like you can swap Giannis and Trey Murphy for AD and Buddy Hield. I like that. Like this construction is better in like a cash game scenario, I think. But you can see it here. Sorry, itchy back. One Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, two, 1, 1. No, sorry, 2, 1, 2. Like the overwhelming majority is onslaught of the first game. Middleton was in 100% of my 50 optimal lineups. Brooke Lopez in 42. Mathurin in 41. Miles Turner, Dame Lillard, Aaron Nesmith all in the 30s. And then you get Bruce Brown and Buddy Hield in the 20s. No part of that is surprising to me at all. At all. If we put randomness on it, I'm expecting Middleton to be in that top spot. Yeah. Middleton, Mathurin, Turner, Lopez, Brown. But if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's 8 Bucks and Pacers before you get to your first Laker. And the first Laker is Rui at 4,100. Then you get Trey Murphy. Then you get Giannis. Then you get Herb Jones. Then you get Portis. Man, this is going to be a fun slate. If only there was 100K up top. Let's look at FanDuel, because FanDuel, obviously, very different mechanism. Having to have two guys at each one of those positions completely changes the game, completely changes the build structure. Everything is different in this spot. So we pop that on here. Optimal lineups on FanDuel. 298.64. This is the optimal by 0.41. Alvarado, and then full onslaught of the first game. Lillard, Hield, Mathurin, Middleton, Nesmith, Giannis, Portis, Turner. You can swap out Giannis and Alvarado for Halliburton and Taurean Prince and get to game 2. But again, one Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, one Pelican Laker, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's the same scenario at FanDuel. Jam City on Bucks Pacers. Ownership will be massive here. To find out, do Sims tools overwhelmingly go to Milwaukee and the Pacers in such a way that it becomes better plays to get to the Pelicans and the Lakers? That is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to talk this through with Adam a little bit later. Can I run the optimal for the Lakers Pelicans showdown? Sure. Yeah, why not? That's 50K up top. That's a real contest, especially on this 2-gamer. I got plenty of time. Nothing going on this morning. So yeah, let's do it. So let's go ahead and upload those projections. Where the hell is the game? Maybe I can't. Or I clicked on the wrong shit. Why is that on the 6th? Is that just not loaded yet? Oh, all right, there we go. There we go. All right, so Pels Lakers. Pels Lakers. Let me grab my projections. Demetrius, Pacers Bucks isn't a real single game FanDuel. It's 2K up top. I can't be running that one. No one should play that. Sorry, man. Otherwise, I'll be here all day taking requests. I might not even run that one for DraftKings. All right, here are my projections, and here is the optimal lineup that I have for Lakers Pels. Let me fix that view. Optimal lineups. 242.6. AD captain, LeBron, Zion, Ingram, Najee Marshall, Jared Vanderbilt. You can drop down by 1/10 of a point. You could swap Zion, Najee Marshall, or Russell and Trey Murphy. All right. I'll throw the randomness on it just to see what that ends up looking like. And then we can get out of here. All right. At captain, and this won't be all that surprising, most used guys, AD 29%, LeBron 21%, Ingram 17%, Zion 12%, and then you're scattering around everybody else. At the utility, AD and LeBron both around 60%, Brandon Ingram and Zion both in the mid-40s, Trey Murphy, Russell, Joval, Rui, Vandy, all in the 30s. If Giannis gets 65, do we need it? It's so hard to say that right now. That's probably right around like a 50-50 proposition. So much of that depends on like right away, the question then becomes, did he beat AD or not? If he beats AD, yes. If he didn't, no. But all right, guys, that's gonna do it. Einsteinium, same as usual, Austin Reeves in the closing spot. Alrighty, folks, that's gonna do it. It's been fun. Easy one today. Contenders videos, prize picks, strategy show coming up later. 4 p.m. NBA live before lock. There is no deeper dive. We're not going at 6 o'clock or anything. First game tips off at 5. We're going live at 4. I will see you there. Good luck, everybody. Talk to you later. This was The Process.